Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Okay, so I would have to turn off the sound. Okay, yeah. Kindly confirm you can hear me so that I would. Good afternoon, Danny. Can you hear me? Kindly confirm you can hear me so that we get started. No wasting of time. We are on the mark today. We have a lot to cover. Right, the whole goal behind today's class is to make sure you get started writing already. So who's excited? Can you hear me? Can you hear me clearly? So that I don't, I'm not speaking to myself alone. Can you hear me? Okay, yes, you can hear me. Beautiful. All right, so we're jumping right into it, you guys. So the only rule, as we jump in, please click the like button, engage with me, type. I'm reading your chats, right? That is the only rule here. You see that thumbs up at the top of the screen? Please click it. It's under the name of this channel. Just click it, okay? And yeah, let's chat. Use the red heart button close to your comments, your chats. You can use that to react. There are so many reactions there, so you can use that. And of course, type, comment, chat, questions, everything. Yeah, that's the rule. And if any other person joins, so that I don't break my thought pattern, you guys can help, remind them to just click the like button. It helps a lot. Okay, so let's jump right into it. We are creating our AI. We're creating web novels with AI right now. That's how we're going to be creating this. Okay, how do we create a web novel with AI today? So for those of you who are already on our group, so you already know I have sent you the link. Sign up with that link so that you can start writing as a writer. But beyond writing, I'm going to be explaining how the platforms work and then what you should expect before we even get into writing. Okay. So there are so many web novel platforms out there today that actually deal on stories. They sell stories, right? We have, the audience is very diverse. They range from different countries, different feelings. There are so many people out there today, and I'm sure you have seen a couple of these stories as your TV series as well. They have been translated. A couple of them have been translated into TV series. But of course, we have diverse audience for the different types of, stories out there. So the ones that you guys are signing up for is web novel. Good novel. So a lot of people know about Good Novel. So you're signing up as a writer currently on Good Novel. So if you're just hearing or you're joining us for the first time, my name is Sab, and yes, I'm a writer, an AI filmmaker, and of course the community director for AI Filmmakers Network, and also Sab Studios NG, the festival director for African AI International Film Festival. There's just so much, so I'm trying to rush because there is so much. I'm looking at my notes and it feels like there's too much to cover, but yeah, I will try as much as possible to cover. If I'm going too fast, feel free to ask me, slow me down, ask me a question so that I can reiterate, okay, and explain. All right, but of course you can always come back to this video and catch up. All right, so there are so many web novel platforms out there, but the writers who are signed up right now are signed up to write for Good Novel. Okay, so I already gave you guys that assignment to go and sign up and then start reading some of the stories that you see on that platform. So now let's talk about being a writer on Good Novel. So it goes beyond just submitting your story and then they just take your story and no. They sign your story. You become a contract writer for Good Novel. Okay, that is how you get paid to write for these platforms. Okay, that is how you get paid. So what does that mean? Good Novel platform is a storytelling platform, is a novel platform. So people join Good Novel as either writers or readers. Okay, so you can join as a writer or you can join as a reader. So for those who are currently on AFN Romance Writers Group, you are joining as a writer. That was why I sent you a specific link to join as a writer. So you are not joining as a reader. Readers are different, writers are different. So, but everybody meets on the same app. Right? So what you want to do as a writer, the first thing you want to do is to make sure that you have 5,000 words ready to go. Okay, you have to have 5,000 words. Now, don't worry. I'm going to break down everything. Okay, I'm just giving you a heads up. I'm trying to prepare your mind for the expectations for becoming a novel writer, a web novel writer. Okay, so before you get signed on any of these platforms, they all have their requirements. So I'm going to run through their requirements, especially for those who are signing up on Good Novel right now, because my duty, like I said, is to help you get signed to these platforms so that you can make money. So we're not here to just talk. We're here to talk so that we can make money, and you make money as well. Okay, so as a good novel writer, what you want to do is you want to have a very good story, a classic story that, is enticing from day one, from the get-go. The moment your editor, picks up your novel, they are not dropping it. That is what they consider, a good novel, right? Because you want to entertain. You're here to be a writer. You're not here to be a moral police. You're not here to, police what is going on or what is not going on. No, you're not here to do that. You're here to write, entertain your audience. Okay, so if they can pick up your novel and they can drop it to pick a coffee, then you have failed as a writer. Okay, now we're going to be covering all of that. How do you make sure that they pick up your novel and they do not drop it? All right, so that's what we'll be covering. Now, number one thing is, for Good Novel platform, the first on their requirement is your novel must have you must have 5,000 words for them to sign you as a writer. So for those who are already on our platform, if you're not yet on our platform, feel free to join in. The links are on all of our videos. You can join our writing platform, our general filmmaking platform, or you can join our writing platform as well. Okay, you can join us. So the first thing first is you have to have a story, a good story. I'm going to teach you that very soon. But their first requirement, after having a story, you must write your story and then write 5,000 words first. Once you have written 5,000 words, you submit it to the platform. An editor will go through your work, right? And if they see that it is good enough, they will sign you. If they don't think your work is good enough, they will not sign you. You will have to go back and probably remake that story or scrap the story. All right, that is the first requirement for Good Novel, for you to be signed, right? So the second requirement is, okay, so you have to choose what kind of contract you're going for. So these platforms, I told you about signing. They will sign your book, right? Once you have 5,000 words, they'll sign your book. But beyond 5,000 words, what else would they be willing to sign? What are they signing? How are they signing? When are you getting paid? Yeah, these are the questions we're going to answer now. Now, this platform, number one, needs you to write at least 5,000 words. Then they will make you an offer, right? They have majorly two types of offers that they will make you. Number one offer is exclusive contract. That is the first offer, or non-exclusive contract. So I'm going to be explaining the two types of contracts. Exclusive contract means that you will only write that particular story. Like maybe that story is so good and the platform doesn't want to give it to any other platform. They don't want any other platform to have that story on their platform. So they will tell you that, hey, we're going to pay you more. So keep this book only on our platform. That is exclusive to them. Okay. So you are writing exclusively for that platform. That is what exclusive contract means. So once they have contracted you as an exclusive writer and you have accepted that contract, that offer, then you are not going to be writing on any other platform for that same book. That does not mean that you are not a writer on other platforms. You can write for other platforms. But for that book is strictly for that particular platform for the duration of the time you signed. Some of them offer you a contract of 5 years. Some of them offer you a contract of 10 years. Okay. So depending on what you sign up with them, then you will start getting paid either as an exclusive. Now let's talk about non-exclusive. So if you are a non-exclusive writer, that means that book is good though, but it is okay for you to still take the book and share it to other platforms. So the same book you are writing on probably Good Novel now, you can choose to write it that same book on other platforms as well. But the clause always is the first platform that you put it on will always tell you that you must finish the book on their platform before finishing it on other platforms, right? So depending on who is signing the book first for non-exclusive contracts. So you have to know that that's the difference between these two contracts, okay? So yes, they will sign you, but you have to understand what the difference is for these two contracts. Am I communicating with somebody here? Are you learning something? Are you understanding what I'm saying? What are the two types of contracts that they will make you as an offer? What are the two types of contract and what do you understand by them? Please type it in the chat so that I know that people are listening and people are following. Okay, please type it in the chat. All right. So these are the two types of contracts that they will make you, those are the offers majorly that they will make you, either as an exclusive or as a non-exclusive writer. All right, for these platforms. So you would have to choose, okay? Am I going to be an exclusive writer or am I going to be a non-exclusive writer? Up to you. Now I'm going to talk about the prices that go with each of them. How and why should you choose which of them? So I'm not going to tell you which one to choose and which one not to choose, okay? But because all of them, of course, they all have money attached to them. But we are here talking about, you can choose. You can say, okay, this is what I like. That is my own choice. I can want this one or I want that one. That is up to you, okay? But here, I'm here to, explain it to you so that you understand clearly what each of these actually mean, okay? So you have written exclusive and non-exclusive contract. I can see that, but what do you understand by them? What do you understand by each of these contracts? So now we want to talk about the money. All right, that is attached to these contracts when they give you the contract. Now, remember, it's not immediately you sign your book like you have written your book and you say, oh yeah, I've written my book. I'm now a writer. And then you send it to them and they will sign it. They don't have an obligation to sign your book. If your book is shitty, they will not sign it. Okay. If your book is shitty, they will not sign it. But when your book is top notch, they will sign you. Okay, so you have to understand that. So don't think, she said I should just write 5,000 words, then I go and write 5,000 words. Like a lot of people will drop off this video now and say, yeah, okay, I can write 5,000 words now and I'll go and sign. You don't even know the strategy. Then you will go and write. They will not sign your book. So that is why we are here. That's why I'm here to help you, because I've got different contracts on different platforms and I can tell you what each of them actually mean and how it can benefit you as a writer, what you can get from each of those platforms, okay? So that's why I'm here. So pay attention, stay through the video. If you know somebody that needs to be on this video, needs to be in this class, invite them to join, okay? Send them the link, tell them to join. They don't have to join our WhatsApp group, but they can join here to listen. If they decide that they want to join us after now, let them join. They can join us, they can reach out to us and join the writers group, but they can attend for now and listen. If they choose, they want to go forward, fine, we'll welcome them. If not, they're okay, they're fine, they're free to go. All right, so now for the exclusive, okay, so I see someone writing, that's beautiful. I hope we are all learning. I hope we are learning together, because the whole reason for writing this is so that we can clarify. I know that we all hear the same thing, but sometimes we understand it in different ways, right? So it is better we are able to understand well. It is better you type it now so that I can explain it. If there is something you don't understand, it is better you type so that I can correct your notion now, so that you don't insinuate and think and say, oh no, this is what she said. No, it's better you write it how you understand it, then I correct it and get you online on track with the right information. All right. So someone is saying non-exclusive contract can be scared or sacred to other. Okay, shared. Maybe you wanted to write shared to other platforms, but must be completely or completed on the platform. I think you understand what I'm saying. Okay, so exclusive for only the platform, that's correct. Non-exclusive, I think it's just typos, right? But you said non-exclusive can be shared to other platforms, but must be completed on the platform. So I think you get that, all right? You got that properly. Thank you. All right, so you guys, if you did not understand it, please read what Gift Ewoma Zeno's Journey has written. That explains it, okay? Simple Comes Lesson has also written, exclusive, you share the book on the platform only. Non-exclusive, you share the book on different writing platforms. Okay. All right. So yes, I think we are getting it. We are understanding clearly. All right. So yes, exclusive means you're writing for only one platform. That book, that particular book, that does not mean that you are not a writer on other platforms. You can be a writer on other platforms and give each of those platforms one book exclusively to them, right? That is okay. But We're talking about one platform now because that's the platform I have given you guys to sign up to. So that's the platform we're talking about now. So only that platform, when they give you exclusive, that book that you wrote, that they signed, that they are making you that offer, will only be to that one platform. Don't carry that book and share it to other places. They can sue you because, we Africans, sometimes we don't take paperwork seriously. We don't take contracts seriously. Guys, these are not African platforms. They are not Nigerian platforms, so they take all these things seriously. Don't make them sue you. Don't do what, don't be too smart beyond, what is necessary. Right? Be smart when it comes to your money and making your money. Yeah. But, do the right thing so that we're not getting into any legal suits and the rest. Do you understand me? So one book, when they give you an exclusive, or they make you an exclusive offer and they're giving you an exclusive contract, that means that book, single book, is for that platform alone. Not even when you complete it that you share it. You must read the contract and know how many years should that book be for them. Is it 5 years? Is it 10 years? So probably after 5 years, you might choose to renew your contract. If after 5 years, you might choose to take your book away from that contract and probably share it outside that. That is your concern. But make sure you are reading the fine lines. How many years are they giving you as a contract on your contract that will be exclusive? Okay, that is one. Then non-exclusive, just like we said, non-exclusive is share your book to multiple. That same one book, you can use it to make money on other platforms, right? So now let's talk about the money. Okay, so I see Danny Mix saying exclusive strictly for just the platform and can get long-time offers to work with them, and non-exclusive, it can be shared on other platforms since it's not so top-notch. Okay, so when we say top-notch, okay, so let me just correct that notion. The contracts don't necessarily define your book. Let me put it like that. Yeah, the contracts necessarily do not define your book. I don't know how to explain this. Your book actually is good. Your book will be good, but depending on a budget, depending on a lot of things, whoever is vetting your book at that time, what their budget is, what kind of stories they have signed in the month, there's a lot that goes into it. So maybe they just don't want to miss your book. They now make you an offer to keep that book on their platform. Do you understand? So your book is not necessarily not top notch. The moment they have decided that they want to make you an offer, guy, know that your book is good. Okay? Know that your book is good. So if it is not good, they will instantly trash it. They will not even give you an offer that, let's manage it. No, they are not managing any story. Go and read most of those stories on the platforms. You'll see how good those stories are. Okay? So they are not managing. They're not this. So there's just a lot that goes into it. Budget, the person, logistics, whatever, it goes into it to make you an offer. All right. So let's scrap that top notch out of it. But you're correct about the exclusive, meaning for just their platform, and then non-exclusive can be shared to other platforms. All right. So let's move past that now. Now that we understand, you have a platform, they have an offer, they can make you two offers, either it's exclusive or non-exclusive. So now what goes with the exclusive contract? Number one, for exclusive contracts, you get a signing bonus. So this platform says, we are signing you now to become our writer, and we know that we are telling you not to take your book to somewhere else. So we're going to give you money. And usually it's between $100 to $150. That's what you get for signing bonus, depending on the platform. You guys, depending on the platform, right? Usually every writer that gets an exclusive contract usually gets a signing bonus. A signing bonus means that they have made you that offer and they're saying, don't go anywhere. We want to keep you here. And you have dedicated this book to us. So they are appreciating you for saying that book will only be for them. So you will get a signing bonus. A signing bonus is usually $100 to $150 and so on. It usually goes up. Okay. Yes. No, for the exclusive, it's the $100 continuous every month. Your book is being read. No. Signing bonus first. Okay. Signing bonus. That means you have decided that you are signing that contract with them, and the contract you have accepted is an exclusive contract. That is what signing bonus means. Okay. Then they now have what they call MAB. right? Monthly attendance bonus. So you guys, and I'm still talking about exclusive contract here. I've not started talking about non-exclusive contract. Okay. So for this is for exclusive contract. The moment you have agreed to sign their contract for exclusive and you just want to put that book there, they give you 100 and 150 or 200 or whatever, depending on what their platform offers, right? So you take the $100 and then you put that book on their platform. Now their MAB, usually most platforms have MAB. What MAB means is monthly attendance bonus. That means you must update that book. Remember, some of them will say, for example, the platform we're working with, which is Good Novel, right? You only need 5,000 words to get them to make you an offer, right? But the book will not be complete at 5,000 words. You must write up to like over 65, 75, 100,000 words. That is when your book is complete, right? At least your book must be like 100,000 words. Some people write up to 150,000, 200,000 words per book, okay? So your book first, for them to see whether it is interesting, whether it will have lots of conflicts and, that people would like to read, they now look at that, your first 5,000 words. If it's good, they will sign it. If it's not good, they'll trash it, right? So once you have accepted their exclusive offer, they give you $100 for Good Novel is $100, right? Let's just talk about Good Novel. Right, so they'll give you $100 for you to sign, and then you start to write. You must make sure that every month you are putting in the work. So maybe they will tell you that you must meet this. Like maybe they might give you a quota and say, make sure by the end of this month you have written at least 30 to 50,000 words. They might give you that kind of quota. Remember, you are writing for them now officially. So they might give you a quota and say, make sure your book hits like 30,000 words or 25,000 words, or, they can give you a quota because you are now an exclusive writer. You must make sure you meet that. So as long as you meet those things in a month, they will give you your MAB. That means you have checked the mark for monthly attendance. Do you understand me? That's what MAB means, monthly attendance bonus. So once you hit those marks, they will now give you that. Usually the monthly attendance bonuses are like $50 and so on, just to keep you writing, right? So I think they usually give it for like 3 months, hoping that you would have finished your book in like 3 months. That's one book, right? So that you can go on to other projects. So if you have not finished it within 3 months, that's up to you. Make sure you try and finish it. But I think their MAB is only like 3 months, right? So you get that MAB for like 3 months and then they are done. So you will not decide, how fast you want to finish your book or not. So you can collect your MAB, right? So they'll be paying you for you to be writing for those 3 months. So they've signed you for $100. They pay you $50 for 3 months, $50 for 3 months. That's like for the MABs, and hoping that you would have finished your book in 3 months. So if you do not finish it, they are not necessarily obliged to continue paying you. No, they expect that you should have finished that book so that you can move on to something else, right? So in case, just calculate it. So in case they are giving you like 30,000 words to write per month, 30,000 words per 3 months, that's 90,000 words, right? And you already submitted 5,000 words before. So your total book now is like 95,000 words, right? So you know how you will add the other 5,000 words to complete it 100K words. So you can add it into one of the other months and complete your book, right? So once you have completed your book, they now give you a completion bonus. A completion bonus. That means you are now marking that book and saying, this book is now complete. So you will give them that book, they will mark it, they'll say, okay, this book is complete. They will now pay you 100 or 150. I think it's 150 for Good Novel. They will now pay you $150. That is your complete book. So you can calculate all these things now and know how much you'll be making per book if you are writing on exclusive. Do you understand? Now, that is one book alone. Now, once the book is now live, once the book has been completed and the book is now live, these platforms still make money off like your they can market it, and if the book is that good and people are reading it so much, there's a way they lock the book, and people will have to pay, like the audience usually pay like coins and all those things to unlock chapters to read and so on, right? So you get to share those profits with them afterwards. So that is what they call royalties. Okay, so you start to get paid, those small chunks going forward every month, right? That is what you get from them afterwards. So I hope I'm communicating. I hope someone is getting value from this. Are you understanding now? So that when we start talking and people are saying they got this contract, they got that contract, you understand what they are talking about, right? Now, that is it for exclusive contracts. Now let's talk about non-exclusive contract. Okay, non-exclusive contract doesn't have a signing bonus. Non-exclusive contract does not have a signing bonus. They do not give you any money to sign with them because, well, the book is not strictly on their platform. So they are not paying you for that. So, but you chose to put your book on their platform. They think it is good to be on their platform. So they will tell you, okay, fine, come and put your book on this platform. Most of them have what they call the completion bonus, right? They don't have a signing bonus. Signing bonus is only for exclusive, but every platform has like a completion bonus. If you complete your book within the same frame of time that we have talked about, 3 months per book, make sure you have completed your book within at least 3 months. If you can hit that 3 months, I think most of the platforms keep to that 3 months rule so far. You will get your completion bonus for that book. You will get your completion bonus for that book. So for non-exclusive, I think their completion bonus are usually like $50, right? So I think that's because they do not necessarily owe you like anything. So it's more like supporting you as a writer and so on. And of course, you can get this $50 from as many platforms as you put the book on, right? So that's what exclusive, non-exclusive contract looks like. They don't owe you anything. So after that, you still get royalties, just like the exclusive keeps getting royalties for their book. Once your book is now live and people are paying to unlock some chapters and so on, you will be sharing the same profit with the platform. That is what they call royalty. So you can still be getting your royalties, but those are like, stipends, and usually depending on how popular your book is, depending on how big the audience is for that book, every month they'll be paying you whatever you have. I think they all have like a threshold. If your change gets to like $100, is it $100? A bit $10, something like that. Like monthly, they shall pay out, to writers. So if your royalties get to like maybe $10 to $20, I think. Okay, so alpha novel is about $20 to $25. So if your money gets like $20, let's just put it at $20, right? You'll be getting paid, right, from these platforms, right? So yeah, that's your royalty. But for the book, remember, only exclusive gets signing bonus, MABs, that is for writing for them, and then completion bonus. Non-exclusive doesn't get a signing bonus, doesn't get MABs, but they get completion bonus of $50. Usually, some platforms are going higher now, but it's usually $50. Good Novel is still $50 actually, and then you will still get your royalties as long as the book is still on their platform, because they have a this thing for signing you. So their books could be signed for like 5 years, 10 years. So as long as your book is still signed on their platform, you're still getting your royalties. So do you have questions so far? Because we're about to go into the writing proper. We have talked about the platforms, the expectations. Are your expectations clear? Is there something that is not clear yet? Are you in the right class? Do you think you want to proceed? Is there something that is still unclear to you before we proceed to writing? Is there something we should cover before we move forward? Please ask your questions, use the chat. Are you listening? Is there something that we need to touch on? Is there something we need to cover? Are you getting value? I want to get your feedbacks, please. Are we still on the same page? Yes, royalties are monthly. Your royalties will accumulate. It's like Okay, so you know how, I don't know if you guys use all these platforms, but let me try to explain it as simply as I can. So for example, once you write your book, yeah, and your book gets to like maybe 14 chapters, I'm just using 14 for example, right? So you remember you sent in 5 chapters for them to gauge your writing, right? You sent 5 chapters for them to gauge your writing before they will accept to sign the book, right? So those 5 chapters are like what they will also leave as free chapters for your audience, so that your audience will come in and, like, if they want to continue reading beyond the 5 chapters, so maybe from chapter 6 they will now lock it. That is when you have probably written to, like, maybe you have written like 14, 15, 30 chapters, and they know that, people would like to read this book further. They are seeing the influx of people reading the book, so they will lock from chapter 6, right? So the people will now have to pay the platform to unlock chapter 6. When they read chapter 6, they enjoy it. They want to read chapter 7, they will pay again. So those payments, you and the platform based on your contract will be sharing the royalty, right? That is what they call it. Okay, it's just like YouTube, the same thing now. So you are sharing the money that they are making from it. So the platform is probably getting 30%, and you as the writer, you're getting 70%. So if the person has paid, imagine how many people paying to unlock your chapters to read, right? So depending on that amount that they are paying per month, when the thing gathers like that and gets to like $20, $25, the platform will not pay you if your money gets to 20 or 25. If your money doesn't get to 20 or $25 per month, it will move into the next month, right? It will be carried over into the next month. So until your money gets to that $20, $25, then you'll be getting your royalties monthly, as long as your book is signed with them. As long as your book is signed, okay? So if it's 5 years, that is what you'll be getting every month for 5 years. If it's 10 years, that is what you'll be getting from your book for 10 years. Do you understand? And this is for one book. So as many books as you have, your royalties will be accumulating. Do you understand me? Does that answer your questions about the monthly royalties? Please give me feedbacks. Your feedbacks are what helps me to understand that I'm talking to the right audience, so that we can move forward, okay? Help me understand that. Yeah. Okay, so I'm getting value. Okay, let's proceed from my side. Okay, yes, let's proceed. Okay, so for non-exclusive, can you only get paid after you are done with the book? Yes. Once your book is marked complete, that is when you get paid. Once your book is now marked that you have finished writing the book, and you tell your editor, I have finished this book, that is when you get paid for the book. So if you choose to write your book for 10 years, that is up to you. If you choose to write your book quickly, that is up to you, right? So until you are done writing that book, depending on what the platform says. If you write for 3 months, quickly. If they said they are non-exclusive is finish in 3 months, finish in 6 months. Once you finish it within the time frame, they pay you. If you don't finish your book on time, they don't pay you. They don't owe you anything. You don't owe them as well. Right? Okay, you owe them because you're under their contract, but they don't owe you anything, right? So I hope that is clear. Can we move forward? I think we got a lot of proceed. All right. So we're proceeding. If you still have questions, drop it. I'll be reading it. Okay. So we're proceeding. All right, so now that you understand what the platforms require, and these that I've given you are like requirements across most of the platforms, most of the platforms. But of course, when you join a new platform, read their terms and understand maybe there's a difference or something, some small changes might be there, but you have to read it to understand, right? But basically, this is the standard of, signing with most of the platforms that are, out there. For those who are currently on our writers group, I'll be sharing some other platforms with you, but I want you to get started with this one first, right? So if you're not yet on our platform and you'd like to join, please click the links in our, in the description of all our videos. Join us. And if you're watching and you're getting value, please click the like button. If you've already clicked it before, please don't click it again. You will remove the like that you have put before, right? So, but if you're clicked, don't click again. But, please keep engaging. Type. I want to see your type, your chat. All right. So now let's go into writing. Now you understand what web novel writing looks like and what the platforms are looking for. And you're thinking, yes, I want to do this. Where do I start? Beautiful. Now that's where we're going. All right. You need to have a good story. You need to have a good story. So I'm not going to be sharing the AI we'll be using on this chat. The people on our group will get that information, but I'm going to be sharing the techniques we'll be using. So even if you're still on this call, you will still get value from here, and you can test out this technique on any of your platform that you want to use. Those who are on our platform, I'll share what we'll be using to write. Of course, it will start from you. You will have to do the work. Once I vet what you're doing, then because remember my commitment to you. It is only when you make money, I make money. So we have to make sure that you're making the money so that I can make money as well, right? So I'll be vetting your stories. I'll be vetting what you're sending in, helping you to fine tune it so that we can get those contracts, right? So that's the benefit of being part of my community. So if you want to join, please click the link, join us. All right. Okay. So enough said. The first thing that you need to do is to make sure that, one, you have a good story. What does a good story mean? I think I've covered this in most of our trainings, but I want to reiterate, right? A good story is about the beginning, the middle, and the end. A lot of people start stories, they don't know how to end it. Why? That's because they never planned the story. Like they just started writing and then somehow the story looks stuck. They don't know where the story is going again. They're like, what am I supposed to write now? What will I do? Has that ever happened to you? If that has ever happened to you, type it in the chat, right? That was me earlier in my career, right? I usually wait for my stories to find me. So when the stories find me, I would write. But sometimes there's a story that will just come half and half. It doesn't come full. So I'll just start the story like this and I'll be waiting for it. Oh yeah, come now, let me write. Come, the story will never come back. So I will leave that story half done, right? That was me earlier, right? But now, and I know that a lot of writers are like that. Some of us like to, wait for the stories to find us before, we start to write. But here you're going to learn the technicality, right? You will learn the technicality of how to, you don't even need to wait for the stories to come. You can actually push the story to come, right? It's even good when you actually have it inborn, right? But, with a technique, with a skill trainer, you will have to still learn the skill of fine-tuning it, of tuning that idea, that concept into something that is fine and ready to be delivered, right? Because sometimes your idea is very fine in your head. Until you put it on paper, you don't know whether it is actually going to be interesting or read by anybody at all. So it is better you follow this technique. So what am I saying? Your story must have a beginning, a middle, and an end. You must plan it before you even start writing the first chapter. You must plan your beginning, your middle, and the end of your story, your book, from the get-go, before you even write chapter 1 and you start writing. No, you must already plan it. This is the story. This is what will happen. This is what will happen in the middle. This is what will now happen at the end. You must have that clear before you even start writing. Am I communicating? Okay, someone says it has happened to me when I was much younger. I know. That's part of the experience. If it has not happened to you, I'll be surprised because, a lot of people do not really have that experience, right? That shows who we are, as writers and, growth, of course. So, so your beginning, your middle, and an end. Now let's talk about it. Let's break each of them into smaller chunks so that someone who is not even a writer at all, but is part of this, because some people reached out because they were passionate about it. They want to learn how to do this, right? They are not necessarily writers. So let's talk to them now. Okay, so how do we break this into smaller chunks so that you can get started? So for those who are not necessarily writers, you guys, the beginning means you are setting the world. You are creating the world where everything that will happen in the remaining of the book will happen, right? You are creating it. That is like establishing the story itself. You are establishing the story. So for those who do not know, for everything that you will be seeing from maybe the middle, the end, you must have already set it up in the beginning, right? So if by adventure, let's take for example, one of these stories that I loved, the lady actually died, like the husband pushed her down from the, this is one of the stories from that platform. The husband pushed her down from like their penthouse because he wanted to marry her stepsister. And he had already taken over all of her properties and everything. And, at this point, it would look like it would look like an accident, right? He already made her look bad, even to her family. Her family was actually funding his life. Funny enough, like the family she was the heiress. She came from the rich home, right? But you know how rich families, when they get, someone who is humble, in quote, they kind of see their own daughter as overbearing, kind of. That's how they looked at the lady. So nobody was even paying attention to her, despite all her cries. It just looks like, oh, you are just over pampered and you're spoiled and you're a spoiled brat. That's the kind of way everybody was looking at her. So when the guy actually was already setting about his plan, that nobody will believe that, or they will question it. Nobody will question it. They will just rule it as an accident, right? So he pushed her that night from the top of their building, and she landed on the what do they call those things? Fountain in the center of their compound, and she died actually. And then people started coming around. And, her parents even came around. Her parents, her mom and her dad were there. And she was dead, but she was, her spirit was still hovering there. And then she was hearing the parents say, oh, she was so always troublesome. And how can she not see, da, 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 da. Funny enough, like they were still blaming her even in death. Right? And the husband was busy playing the widowed person and, crying and, and whatever. She was just going around and seeing everybody's reaction to her death. Right? Somehow life happened, that is one trope. We're going to talk about tropes shortly. Someone please type it in the chat so that I do not forget, so that we'll talk about tropes. Okay? TROOP, trope. TROPE. Yeah. So we're going to talk about tropes shortly. But please type it in the chat so that I do not forget. All right. So, this is one of the tropes that actually they use. It's actually a very sweet trope. Not troops. Trope, right? TROPE. Yeah. Someone got it. Okay. Yeah. Trope. Yes. So, it is second chance. That's what they call this type of trope. Second chances, right? You get a second chance at life, second chance at, they call this particular type of trope second chance. So somehow, while she has seen everybody's reaction to her, she now came back to life, right? But that incident, the way she came back to life, the clock turned, like, is it 7 days or 48 hours? Something like that. Like the clock turned back. So that incident has not yet happened, right? So she did not come back after the incident happened. No, she came back like the clock turned back. And then it's as if she had seen a premonition of her death. That was how the thing happened. And then the clock turned back like, 4 days, 7 days. And then she was back to herself. And her first, mission was, like the moment she realized that, because she was like, what's happening? She woke up that morning, she just woke up from her bed and she's like, what happened? I was dead just now. And then somehow the same thing that has happened before, the husband came in, hey baby, da 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 da, and so on. And she now realized what was happening. She now said, what's today's date? And the guy told her that, this is the date. She now realized that, okay, I'm 7 days before my death. Okay, so I can change it. So that was how she got to work. Okay. So her first duty was to go over to her parents, try to convince the parents, because the people that are supposed to be in your corner don't even believe you, right? So she had to start trying to get the parents to understand her and so on. And funny enough, it turns out that the only reason they were not believing her before was because she used to play the good wife. Right? No matter what happens, she will take the blame for the husband. She will say, no. He's just tired. He's just this. He's just that. Funny enough, by the time she started telling the parents that she was feeling somehow about her marriage, her parents actually said, if you're not comfortable there, you have a place in our home. Come back here. You have this. And she was surprised. Like things just changed in a twinkle of an eye. She thought these parents did not care about her. She thought, so basically the story now rippled from there. Guess what? They already set the story from the beginning to show us where the story ended. Right? But that was not actually the real end, because we still had to see another end. Right? So guess what? That is what you should be able to do in your first chapter, in your first 5 chapters. Yeah, so that is what beginning means. You must start the story at the beginning. What happened? What will now happen? How will that happen? So these are the questions you will be asking, as your story progresses. Beginning, then the middle. The middle now happens to be, okay, now she's taking back her life. She's doing this, she's doing that, A lot of other things will happen in between. Then how does it now really end? Do you understand? So we are finished with the beginning. I've told you about the beginning of that story. You can even write the same story, Nobody stops you from writing the same story. You can imagine a different middle. You can imagine a different end, right? So the beginning is you setting the stage, establishing your story, establishing what will happen. And then the middle is you putting in all the other things that will happen. Because, of course, this person, you have already set it up that this person is one person against the world. So what would they now do to change that fate? They only have 7 days to go. The stakes are high. What will they do to change their fate? So everything that they will do will happen in the middle. Then their fate, the final fate, will not be the end. Will it end the same way it started, or will it end, a separate way? That is the end of that story. Do you understand me now? Does anybody still have questions or confusion? Don't worry, for those who are still on that group, we're still going to be going in depth, right? Because I'll be vetting your stories. But I hope you have a clear picture now. I hope you have a clear picture. Does anybody have any questions? Any question about, if I say go and write a story now, do you know what you're going to do? Do you know what you're going to do now? Are you confused? Are you still confused about where to write, what kind of story you would write? All right, so let's talk about tropes quickly while I'm waiting for your feedbacks and your responses. Okay, so we're talking about tropes. So there are several types of tropes out there, you guys. So many. In fact, when you're submitting your book to these platforms, you will see tropes, a lot of tropes. So I'm going to talk about some of the popular ones, right? And then I want you to start spotting it so that whenever you want to write a story, and probably you don't even have an idea, you can easily think about a trope. Your trope can be your inspiration, right, to come up with a story. For example, this one that we talked about now is called second chances. There could be second chance at love. This one now is second chance at life, right? This person was given a second chance at life. What about giving a second chance at love? What about giving a second chance at parenthood? What about giving a second chance? You can think about second chance in different ways. But this particular trope is called what? Second chances. So please, as I'm saying it, be typing it in the chat so that those who will get to watch it after now can remember the tropes, okay? So what is the trope that we just talked about now? Second chances. Now, there's also the trope of enemy to lovers. Enemy to lovers. That is a very fantastic trope. A fantastic trope, right? Enemies to lovers, simple. These two people, they hate each other. They came, maybe, for example, let's use an example. This is just me creating a story on the spur of the moment. Another story is about okay, so they came over, they were childhood friends, and maybe a misunderstanding happened, and they kind of don't like each other again, or they are like rivals in a company. Yeah, I think this one is very popular. They are like rivals in a company. For example, the guy is in marketing and the lady is in probably product management, and they are always competing, products will say this, marketing will say this, probably they are always at loggerheads somehow. And funny enough, maybe they now have a big client that needs them to sell this thing, maybe the biggest deal in the company. And the founder or the CEO will say, guys, I don't care about what you guys, you guys have to work together to get us that client. I don't care what you guys have to do, but you must work together to give us that client. And guess what? These two people, by the time they start to work together with their conflicting ideas and their conflicting behaviors, guess what? They now fall in love with each other. It's a popular trope. It is a popular trope, and it works every time. It works every time. Enemies to lovers, right? So that is another trope. Now, another trope that you can also consider is fake marriage. Fake marriage. I know you guys have seen this one. If you have not seen this one, I wonder where you've been. Fake marriage is a thing, you guys. Fake marriage is a thing. That trope always wins, right? Fake marriage, for example, baby girl, bring your boyfriend to our place today, or bring your boyfriend to um to this place if you want to, if you're coming for holiday, or probably like those ones where they are siblings, the siblings are always fighting, right? And the lady is like, hi, who do I take? And she takes her PA over to the place just to show that she has a boyfriend. Meanwhile, she's a workaholic. Somehow the PA has been the only one that has seen her in her real self, who she is. And and she probably offered to pay the PA, hey, you're gonna be my boyfriend this week because you're the only guy that I know anyway, so you're gonna be my PA, so follow me, go there, make my sister jealous. You must make her jealous because she always wins and I don't want her to win this time. So she takes the PA. Funny enough, they now somehow, when they get there, they're like, you're just a boyfriend. They say, no, we already got married. I've been married for long. But why didn't you tell us? Well, do I have to tell you? My business is private and so on and so forth. Fake marriage is a thing. Like, it always wins, right? Another trope you can also always, I'm just giving you guys examples, right? Your stories might be, I'm just trying to give you, I hope you're getting what I'm saying. Yeah. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. I won't cover every trope, but I'm trying to show you the popular tropes, right? Winning tropes that always win, right? There's also the billionaire trope, billionaire that always gets what he wants, and somehow the person that he refuses, maybe he wants to buy off a poor person's house, and the woman is like a widow with like 3 kids, and like the worst case scenario. And somehow she's the one that he finally falls in love with, because probably she has a remedy to probably one of his illness. He doesn't know how to sleep, or maybe he has insomnia, or maybe he's going through something in his life, right? And somehow, the widow is the only one that can cure him. Maybe the day he came to evict her from their house, she kneels down, she's begging him, and somehow he flashes and he falls down, and she brings him into their house, puts her kids to bed, and tends to him, creates pepper soup for him to eat. As she's doing the pepper soup, he wakes up. You're taking care of me even when I want to evict you. Yes, and somehow love starts. Billionaire trope, it always happens, right? So that is another trope. Another trope you can always also consider is fake, maybe fake pregnancy and fake marriage go together, or unwanted pregnancy. Unwanted pregnancy also goes along with another popular trope, which is the one night stand. One night stand to probably like, this lady goes to a destination wedding. Her stepsister is getting married. She just has to be there, While the stepsister is rubbing it in her face, she's pissed off, and somehow she goes over to one bar where she's drinking. Like, she just leaves the whole island, and goes over into the town, and where she's going there to go and drink and whatever, the bartender is, she ends up in bed with that night, and she thinks she will just escape it. She goes back to town, and somehow the guy comes back into town, and it turns out that he just goes back to those places because it makes him feel like himself, and yeah. So someone also gets it. Hidden identity is also popular too. Yeah, he also goes like that. Yeah, hidden identity is usually popular with even the billionaires. Yeah, a lot of billionaire, this thing goes with hidden identity as well. Yeah, so you can explore this. There are a lot of tropes, you guys. A lot of tropes rather. There are a lot. So I think I've been able to state some of these tropes for you. So if you're thinking, where do I start from? Well, you can start to explore any of these tropes. Which of them actually catch your fancy? Which of them have you seen? Which of these stories have you seen before that you want to recreate? Because the truth is that you are not necessarily reinventing the wheel, right? Your own is to take an already existing and profitable niche or profitable market, something that is already working, that people love, to read. You don't want to go and start creating something that nobody will read. You are here to make money. Am I talking to the wrong crowd? Am I talking to the wrong crowd here? So if you're here and this is supposed to be a business for you, guys, you're supposed to go with what is already working. Okay, I didn't even talk about the other tropes. There are werewolf tropes, vampire tropes. There are other fan fiction styles, fantasy, and the rest. They also have their own. If that is your type of person, if you like to write all those type of things, there are a lot. Okay, go in the direction that best fits your writing style, the kind of imagination you have, right? There is always an audience for it. But I want you, like I said to you guys, if you are on that group, sign up and start to read the types of books that you like to write. Don't go and read my type of book. Okay, because I'm already talking about this type now. You go and start reading my type. No, don't read what I like. The type that you are comfortable with, the type that your imagination allows you to write, right? Go and start to read about it. Read those types. See what people are already writing. The truth is that you might see somebody's somebody's story, and you will start imagining it going in another direction, and the person will write in another direction. Guess what? Take that same story. I'm not saying copy. Take the same story and write it in your own way, the way you were thinking about the story going. Carry it and start to write it like that. Do you understand? Now, that is the same. It will work because it has started working for the person. If you see that book on their platform, meaning that they have signed that book. Do you understand me? The moment you see that book on that platform, meaning that they have signed that book. So it means that it is working. So once you see it on that platform, it means that it works. Carry that idea that you have as you are reading it and you saw something that you can do differently. Carry that idea and manipulate it. Turn it to what you would like to write it as. Am I making sense? Did I say copy? Did anybody hear me say copy anybody's work? I did not say that, you guys. Please do not misquote me. I did not say copy anybody's work. Go and start to read the books on that platform, right? The ones that are like the type you like to write. Read that type. Once you see that the story is going in a different direction from what you would have written it, that is the story you should write. That is the easiest way I can explain it to you that can help you to get started today. Like somebody will now sit down and start saying, I'm still thinking. Guy, if you are still thinking on that group in 1 week after this class, I will remove you. I don't have time for people who will be telling me, I'm still thinking. I've been telling some people to start YouTube channels. They've been telling me since last year that they are still thinking about starting it. Guys, if you are on that my writing group today, and after 1 week, you have not started writing, you tell me you're still thinking, you will be removed, and I won't consider you for adding you again to the group. I'm being very realistic now. This is business. We're not playing here. Okay? So if you're not ready, it is fine. Take your time until you are ready, then you come and meet us. But if you're on that group today, make sure that this thing that I've told you, I'm not here to waste my saliva to talk, and then you come and tell me 1 week later, you are still thinking. No problem. You will go outside and go and be thinking by yourself. Okay? So that is what we will do. Here, it is all about accountability and people who are serious to work. I'll be holding you accountable. You will be working. You'll be writing. Okay? So please, let me see the chat. Let me see the chat. If there are questions in there, let me see so that I can attend to them. Okay? Okay, so yeah. Okay, you mentioned read the type you love to write. Yes. Read the type of books you like to write. Like on the said platforms, the web novel platforms that you are writing for. Look at the type of books that they have signed. It tells you the type of books that they are looking for. Okay? But like I said, I have given you some examples of some tropes that they already sign, that are already working on those platforms. It is best for you to align your story with those tropes. Don't go and start inventing sci-fi or whatever that, you know that the audience is not much. So, and you are looking to make money. Are you serious yet? Right? I'm not saying you cannot write that. When you are now made, you're a billionaire, you don't need money. No problem. You can start writing all those ones for fun, right? No problem. They will sign you and your book will be there, At least you get 1 or 2 readers and, fine and good. That is up to you, right? But if you want to write and you want to make money, I've given you some of the popular tropes, right? Start looking in that direction right now. That's where we're starting. Okay, we're talking business, you guys. We're talking business. You want to go where the crowd is. We're going to where the crowd is. Once you have your audience, you can start to write. You guys know this already now. You already know this. It's when you already have audience, you can sell any other thing to them. Once you already started writing, people have started following you. You will have followers on that platform. Yes. Some people want to see more of your books. They will follow you. They'll be gifting you on the platform, right? These are other ways to make money on there. So I just gave you the basic one, right? So you will get your own fans. You will get the people that are telling you, right now, when will the next chapter drop, you will start getting them on that platform. Do you guys understand me? So I just had to give you the basic. But this is how you build your own audience. Once you have gotten your audience, there are people that are already there that have over 1 million and so on audience. right? When you already have your audience, what is stopping you? You cannot write what you like, right? But first and foremost, get your audience in. That is why we have to go where the audience are. Where are these audience? They are reading these types of tropes we already talked about in today's class. All right. Do we have questions? Do we have comments to make? Are we still confused about one or two things? Is there something that's still confusing you? Is there someone who has not liked yet? If you've not clicked the thumbs up at the top of the screen, what is stopping you from doing that? If you have clicked it already, no need to click again. But if you have not clicked it, please click the thumbs up. You see that thumbs up at the top of the screen there? Please click it for me. It helps. That's your own way of supporting what I'm doing, right? There's a thumbs up at the top of the screen under the name of this channel. If you have not clicked it before, please click it. But if you've clicked it before, no need to click again. All right. Thank you so much. All right. So no questions. I'm not seeing any questions. I'm not seeing any comments. So let me ask, are we ready? Let me now ask, are we ready? Are we ready to get started? Are we ready to get started? So for those who might join this live stream, maybe you might watch the replay after now and you want to join us, right? You want to join us. The link to join AI Filmmakers Network is in the description of most of our videos. So click the link, join us, and you'll be added to, you can join us as writer. We have a writers group on the community, so you can join us as well. Click join the AI Filmmakers Network. AI Filmmakers Network is diverse. We create films there. We also have writers, so you can join any of our platforms and you're free to engage in any way possible. Okay. All right. So yes, I'm ready to get started. All right. Beautiful. So on our group, we'll be talking about the platforms to use. How do we get started and so on? We'll be covering that on our platform. Okay, so yes, now that we have gotten yes, we are going to start. I'm going to drop the assignment for today. You're going to start with your assignment. We have talked about the tropes, right? So you're going to be working on the tropes. You're going to submit your tropes. You're going to submit your beginning, middle, and an end. You're going to pitch me your stories. Okay, so I forgot to mention, just like the story that I gave you, you guys can see that the story started with someone pushed off like a building, right? Someone was being pushed off a building. That was how that story started. That is what they call a hook, right? That is what they call a hook. So for your story to instantly grab attention, your beginning must always start with a hook. It might be something that will happen in the story or something that probably, it just has to start really catchy, right? Maybe it starts off like that and then it ripples through whatever, but your story must always start with a hook. So when you are plotting your beginning, your middle, and an end, always plot it with the beginning. Always plot the beginning with a hook. All right? Always plot your beginning with a hook. Something that will make someone shout, "What? What just happened?" Or, "Oh my God, did that just happen?" Or, "Wow, what will happen after this?" Do you understand? If you can get that first reaction, from if you read it back to yourself and you cannot get that reaction from yourself, and I'm saying yourself now because I'm hoping that you'll be your first critic before you send your book out, before you send it to me to judge. I will not be nice to you. When we start working, I will not be nice to you. So don't think I'm your friend then. Now I'm your friend, right? But when we are working, I'm going to be your coach. I'm going to be your mentor, but I'm not going to be your friend. Okay? I'm going to be your strategist as well, but I'm not going to be your friend. So let's be clear. All right. So if you read it to yourself first and you do not feel like you got that effect of what just happened? Whoa, what's going to happen after now? What will she do? Or, oh my God. If you do not get that effect, throw it away. Please rewrite it. Don't worry, we're going to be tackling some of those technicalities on our group privately, right? But I want us to have that idea behind our mind now that this is how you're going to write. You already know the beginning, the middle, and the end. That is what your story must entail. For you to write 100 chapters or 100K words, right? You must already plan it between chapter 1 to 30, this is what will happen. Chapter 30 to chapter 60, this is what will happen. Chapter 60 to or 61 to 100, this is what will happen. You must plan it, okay? It is called the 3 acts Plan, right? You must plan your book and write in 3 acts, beginning, middle, and end, act 1, act 2, act 3, right? That's the same thing. So we're going to be talking more technically on our group. So it's always, whenever you're plotting your beginning, always plot your beginning with that in mind. You must have a hook to hook your audience. Any questions before we go? I'm about to wrap up this live. I'm about to close the live. If we get more interest after now, we'll still come back and give other details that we did not give in this particular live session. We'll still come back and do that. But if we do not get any more interest, most of it will be kept secret within our group. Okay? So if you have questions, type. Ask me your questions before we go. I'm about to close the live stream. If you got value from here, tell me how much value you got. Tell me what you have learned today. Tell me what you're taking away from today's live stream. Tell me. Please chat with me. Talk to me. What did you benefit from today's live stream? What did you get? I want to hear from you. Please type. What did you benefit from today? What did you learn? The reason you are going to be typing is someone might come, they might not, listen on my voice. Like, some people used to listen or watch videos with the audio off, right? But they might be reading the captions and probably reading your chat. So it's best for you to, you can help them. You can help them by dropping it. Don't be stingy, right? Let's not gatekeep. So tell me, what did you learn today? What are you learning? What's the value you took away from today's live stream? Did you take away a value? Did you learn something new? Is there something you'll be implementing after now? Are you looking forward to working with me on, as your co-writer, strategist, coach, mentor? Are you looking forward to working with me? All right, so I'm seeing a chat. Please bring in your chats. I want to see your chats. I've been talking so long. I want to hear from you now. Feedbacks are important. Anything that is still not clear, anything that is clear, I want to see it. Okay, so I'm seeing a chat here. I learned about the contract, the exclusive and non-exclusive contract. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm happy you learned about that, because that will guide anything you're doing. You can easily plan it and say, okay, this is what I'm going for, this is what I'm not going for, right? It's easy to plan, right? Okay, so I think that's the only comment I'm getting now. So thank you, Rose. Wonderful. Simple lessons. Thank you, Gift. Thank you for being here. Danny Mix, thank you. Okay, Danny is saying the first 5,000 words, does it entail just the chapter 1 or more? Yes, it entails more than one chapter. Actually, okay, so this is supposed to be a technical stuff that we're supposed to talk on our group, but because it has been asked here, I have to engage, I have to talk about it. All right, so I want you guys to think like this. So every chapter, we will write every chapter as 1,000 words. So imagine you calculate your chapters as 1,000 words. It's easy to plot 5,000 chapters, don't you think? 100 chapters, right? And get 100k words. Because if you are plotting 1,000 words equals to one chapter, that means 5,000 words equals to 5 chapters. That means 100k words equals to 100 chapters. Does that make sense? Can you see that? So that's the maths. That's how, we write. That's the strategy. That's why I said I'll be your strategist. We'll be plotting this together, right? We haven't talked about a lot on this particular live stream. So, but if I get enough engagement, we will come back again. We'll have another session where we'll talk more in depth about the technicalities, like, plotting, how to plot, how to plan your chapters, how to plan your story. There are a lot of things that go into your story. So a lot of people will just see this romance and say, oh, romance stories, oh, they think it's easy. Well, when you start writing, you will understand what I'm saying. All right. So we're going to be doing that on the group. But once I get enough response to this particular live stream and people want it, then we'll do another session to talk in depth. There is so much we have not covered in this particular live stream, right? We have talked about the platforms, yes, but there is more that goes into it. Like, your plotting, who is your character, how many characters should you have in your story? Because sometimes you want to jump from one character to the other. You want to, you will confuse yourself. Do you understand? So there is so much we have not talked about in this particular one, right? But once we get enough responses, we're going to come back here, and tackle most of those things. If I get enough response, we can say, okay, we'll do it again. We'll do this live stream again, probably by weekend or before weekend, depending on the response that I get from this particular live stream. Okay, so someone is saying now I will know how to start my story, especially using the hook. Yeah. Beautiful. I like that. Thank you for that feedback. Someone is saying what they have gotten from today's live stream. They will learn how to start their stories with a hook. I love it. I can't wait to start working with you as my mentor. Thank you. So I learned a lot from what it takes to be an exclusive and non-exclusive writer, the tropes, what makes a good novel. Beautiful. Thank you. All right. So yeah, planning of chapters. I need to learn that. Thank you too. Okay, so let's do the live stream before weekend. All right. Okay, so share this one to more people. If I get more response, I don't know how many views that we got on this one, but if we get more than 100 views on this particular one, then we will do another live stream before the weekend, right? But if we do not get up to 100, you guys have help me to get to 100 views on this one, right? So let's get 100 views on this live stream. If we get more like 100 views, then yeah, we can do another live stream, right? There's just a lot that we need to cover, right, so that we can do more. All right, so share it out. You have the link is on your group. It's not private, so you can share it to more people. The only link that we cannot share is the link to our private group, right? Don't share the link to our private group. That is private, but the link to the video, you can share it to anybody that wants it, right? Okay, so so let's take attendance. For those who are here, if you are here on this chat, go and write now that all of us are here, because I will use it to know who was on the chat and who on this live stream and who is not on the live stream. Go and write it on the group, what you learned from here. The same chat, the same thing that you wrote here on this live. Go and write it on that group so that I can remove the people that are not here. I'll remove them from that group so that they don't drag us back. I don't want anybody coming to ask us, or probably they see what you are doing and they want to copy, right? So that we can know who is with us and who is not with us. So everything that we have just talked about here, right? What you learned from this live stream, go and write it exactly as it is on the WhatsApp group. So anybody that doesn't write within the next 15 minutes, I'll remove them from the group. So thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for watching. If we get up to 100, we'll do another live stream. Today is Wednesday, so we can do another one on Friday. But if we do not get up to 100, we'll probably schedule for next week again. All right. Thank you everybody. Have a blessed rest of your day. Bye everyone.